Well, what is going on, guys, and welcome into the video. So this video will be quite simple today because I will discuss 5 stocks that have just been completely decimated that I'm buying right now today. I will give you which stock, why, but I will also warn you up front, all 5 of these come with a huge warning as well that you must understand before ever buying, so I have to give you that information too. I just ask in exchange for you to gently tap that like button if you like making money, if you're into that sort of stuff, and subscribe too if you haven't yet and you like making money. Not that any of that's correlated together, it's just a way to show that you like to make money. So I've heard, at least. That's the rumor. Now, we just received a preview of how fast the market can flip and the gains that can be made when the market does finally turn around. And it will turn around, guys. I'm not worried one bit. And to prove I'm not worried, there have been 81 buy alerts so far this year, and I know there will be more to come for sure. When the market is down like it is now, I buy heavy because there are deals just everywhere. I have been involved in the market for every crash since the tech bubble, and times like right now are when fortunes are made, but you cannot do that if you're not putting in the work and buying great stocks at great prices. Last year around this time, I had almost no buy alerts and people were leaving my group because I wasn't buying penny stocks or meme coins or whatever the heck the hot thing was. Now, to be honest, I had no idea this mess was coming, but I refused to buy stocks just to keep group members as I think that is wrong on a lot of different levels. I just knew penny stocks were severely overvalued and Apple was significantly undervalued and bought accordingly, or I didn't buy at all for long periods of time. That's it. That's all I did. And you can learn to identify that situation too and what you're going to do in that situation if you take the 4 courses that teach you exactly that, or you just ask me on the multiple live streams we do each week, and you get my watch list with price targets to help you with that too, and you would have received all my buy alerts we will discuss today in real time so you can take advantage of the Luke dip as it's called in the group, because it always dips after I buy, and more content than most groups out there have, period. So make sure you take advantage of the sale that is going on right now for a very limited time before it ends to get the best pricing. For as long as you stay a member, you get to keep that price. And remember, before blasting me, you're not only helping yourself, but you're helping others as half of everything goes to charity. Alright, so despite the huge rally after the Fed meeting, these stocks are still on a super discount. I would be just fine buying all 5 of them yesterday, today, whenever at these prices. But it's not all roses and rocket ships, and we will get to the huge turd in the punch bowl that nobody seems to want to talk about in just a minute. But, let's get to the stocks first. And I apologize in advance for that. I just didn't know how else to say that, so that's kind of what came out. I'm sorry. So stock number 1 I'm buying would be PayPal. Now, I don't know how to explain why this one is so beaten down. I mean, SoFi I get and discussed in this video right up here. High growth stocks I get. And I understand why companies that don't yet produce a profit are beaten down. But PayPal? You will be hard-pressed to find another stock in the stock market that is beaten down more, but makes more money and has a better future growth path than PayPal does. I mean, if you can think of one that's better, comment down below with your pick, but I had a hard time thinking of one. It just doesn't make sense, but then again, neither does Wall Street. And this stock falling out of favor so far so long has allowed me to amass a far bigger position than I wanted, and at a price that just a year ago, you would have sold your grandma for. So on to stock number 2, and that would be Facebook or Meta. Last earnings call I thought was a complete overreaction by Wall Street to them finally seeing user growth slow. Using the grandmas once again, my grandma has Facebook and I don't even have a grandma, but I bet you she still has one. You know you have saturated the market when that happens, so I expected that to stop growing eventually, and it finally did, so to me the reaction was a major overreaction. But what this latest quarter proved is that there is no mega cap company that is more profitable than Meta. They just print money, their margins are insane, and I have no idea if the metaverse will actually play out, but Zuck has been here before with Facebook seeming to need to pivot majorly, and they have accomplished that each time and with great success, so I see no reason to doubt them at this stage. And even if you think the metaverse is a complete bust, and you think it's not going to be a growth stock beast anymore, the fact it's trading cheaper than most value stocks, or old man stocks that my group likes to say, tells me it is way undervalued and I have been buying and will continue to be a buyer. So next up we have Palantir, and I know not everyone likes the stock, but I do, and at these prices I cannot help myself, and it's my channel so I get to pick the stocks, guys. Now I'm not a mega bull like others on here are, but I would not be surprised to see Palantir at $45 in the next 5 years, and being able to add shares now under $12 is just a steal in my opinion. And speaking of steals, I also added shares of JP Morgan, the biggest of the big dog banks, and I will continue to add shares if Wall Street wants to remain stupid and give me discounts on stocks that will benefit the most from rate hikes. I waited patiently for over a year for JP Morgan to return to what I felt was undervalued territory, and lo and behold, right before the first rate hike, Wall Street beat it down to its 52-week low, and it's continued to beat it down to new 52-week lows since then. Not only is it undervalued in my opinion, it's getting close to that ridiculous territory, and as these rate hikes start to hit the bottom lines of the banks in a good way, expect some incredible earnings calls and runs on this stock. Oh yeah, and the dividend isn't half bad either that's paid out to me while I wait on those earnings to come in. Before we get to our last stock and the warnings, there are other stocks too that fit into the category of stupid cheap, great companies, kind of fit in that bucket. So to not stretch this video out forever and ever and ever, I had to choose. And no, it's not like kickball as a kid where the kid picked last, nobody wants. I think most people want this last stock, and that final pick would be Google. Timing sometimes is everything in the market, and if they had reported earnings after the Fed meeting on Wednesday, I don't think Google takes the beating it took after their earnings call last week. I really didn't think it was all that bad, and the bad news in the earnings call was very short-term in nature, meaning there are no long-term concerns for me for this stock. But Wall Street was in a funk during that time, and if you missed, you were getting beat down, and that is what they did to Google. But that just means opportunity, and so I was buying, as was almost the whole group. We were all super pumped up about this stock. But let me be very clear and upfront with you guys. I do not think this is all over and the next bull run has started and we are headed to the moon. Maybe we have hit the bottom, but the reality is we won't know for months if that's actually the case, but I honestly don't think that is the case. I have seen markets rally for a few days, a few weeks, even a few months, then fall right back down to those, right back down, if I could talk. I've seen stocks, go up for weeks or months at a time and then fall right back down to those previous lows and even make new lows, so this isn't a victory lap or anything like that. Please don't take it that way, guys. This is a long road we have to get through. Your analysis and price targets and plans should be the driver for your buys, and since I'm looking out 3 to 5 years and not 3 to 5 days, I don't care about if that was the bottom or not, or when the bottom is, or any of that crap like that. I just don't care. If it is, great. I bought a ton and will keep buying as they're still undervalued, and I don't care about blowing up my gains I just laid out. I'm interested in my gains 5 years from now, not my gains right now. If not, and it's going back down, I will happily add more at those new lows if they hit new lows. Either way, I think there are still too many unknowns out there, so I'm not jumping out there saying it's over and the next bull run is here. It's far too early for that, but I will continue to buy as these deals are still really juicy and I just love buying discounts. And if you don't know how to plan or do a valuation and you want to cheat off my paper, make sure you join the Market Insiders private group before the sale ends. And click this video right here, but I don't know what the video is actually. I didn't think about that before I press play on the deal. But anyways, it's like a mystery box, so you have to watch it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.